In 2018, what the Japanese government was trying to do was to relocate too many people in Tokyo or Osaka to spread into the countryside of Japan, because countryside of Japan is losing people to Tokyo or Osaka. What the Japanese government is trying to do is to reverse that movement to the countryside. So the government was putting 3-year funding for those individuals who wants to make a challenge, who wants to try a new thing in the countryside. Either it is forestry, either it is agriculture or IT, whatever the business is. If you want to move, relocate yourself from very big city area to countryside, the government was funding for that kind of movement. So when I saw that information on the website, I was so attracted. Tsukumo City was trying to promote small-sized forestry business, and this particular type of forestry management style is perfectly matching for what I want to do as a forester, as a vision. So this is a very individual business owner. It's small, but still you're the manager of the business. You do everything by yourself. In the Tsukumo City office, in this 3-year training period, I basically learned 3 things. 1, how to manage the forest in the optimized way. That's more like a knowledge side. 2nd, how to use the chainsaw technically, very skillfully. That's the 2nd. 3rd, how to use the excavator. You need to be very skillfully in these 3 areas. So this skill is actually helps you not only as a forester. People think those 3 skills are only for forestry, that kind of perspective they want. But that kind of perspective is very narrow. As an independent forester, you can do much more than that with those 3 skill sets. If you can cut the tree very safely, very effectively, you can actually use that skill set to cut very big tree behind the people's residence. It is called in Japanese, tokushu bassai. It's special tree cutting. It is not actually typical type of forestry work. Typical type of forestry work is you go to mountain, cut the tree, carry the trees to the market. That's the typical type. But this kind of special tree cutting is more high value. The price is more high. You shouldn't depend only on the typical forestry business. Go to the mountain, cut the tree, carry the trees to the market. This is very normal, but not very high value, particularly because the price of the trees are not very high at this point in time in Japan. So you shouldn't depend too much on the typical type of forestry only. But you can do a lot more based on your skills as a forester. You can do the special tree cutting just nearby the residence. In the time of earthquake, that kind of tree is very dangerous because it has a probability to fall down onto the residence. So I, as an expert, to come onto the place and cut the tree for them. That is another type of business I'm running. If you want to stick to that style, cut the tree and sell the tree, and you want to make a living, you need to clearing all the trees being planted on the mountain. I don't want to do that style because the revenue is too short term. You can make a lot of revenue, like boom, your revenue is very high. But after that, that mountain is not going to produce any revenue. It's just short term, and it's not that beautiful because we are trying to tackle on the global warming, and we cut all the trees on the mountain, enough capacity to replant the trees. That is a big issue. If you stick to the making a road like this, and if you stick to tree thinning, not clear cutting, your mountain will keep generating the revenue for you. Even though the amount of every year is not that huge, but it's very sustainable. So that's why I'm sticking to this style. But at the same time, I'll also say that if there is only one type of forestry worker, like myself, the production of trees in Japan will be significantly low. It will be another problem if that is the case. So the balance of small type forestry and big type of forestry is very important. Every year, all the Japanese citizen is paying tax called 森林環境譲与税. The amount of each individual amount is 1,000 yen. In order to promote forestry activity, such as making a road in mountain, or tree thinning, or to do a questionnaire initiative to the mountain owners of Japan. Whatever promoting initiative, each city in the countryside, or even in Tokyo as well, they can decide to use that 森林環境譲与税 for to promote the forestry activity. And what Tsukumo City is doing with this tax is help a forester like me to make a road in the mountain. There is a supporting funding for that, as well as there is a supporting funding for the tree thinning as well. So that helps me to avoid the clear cutting of mountain trees, and I can keep the long-term perspective for forestry management.
伐木的技术可以应用在其他的砍伐工作，而驾驶挖土机开设作业道的技巧也同样适用于其他类型的工作需求。自伐型林业工作者持有了技术以后，可以凭借自己的能力从事一半林业、一半从事其他工作的工作内容。高知县工作平均薪资为200万日币，但自伐型林业以及个人事业如吉田先生案例，保守估计年收入超过800万日币。而台湾目前的林业形态大致是承包区域采伐或是指数，需要以产量、采集量来换算收入，鲜少有多样化的收益机会，继而补助制度主要对象是地主，所以日产采集量少的自伐型林业总是有其他环境友善的诱因，但也碍于现状，难以说服林业人从事此种形态。另，推动林业的产能增加或技术革新时，最耗时也是最需要协助的一部分，其实是培养适合的人才，一并给予足够的收入。日本的制度可容许3年内的工作者有稳定薪水，培育新能学习林业技术，直至独立经营个人事业体。如果台湾要推动林业迈进，培训人才的长期计划以及对应的政策是必须的，将税金运用在培训第一线的工作人员，培育可靠的林业技术人才，这或许才是当下最需要做的一件事。